Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss an interesting topic which is called as sterilization and aseptic processing. Let us go into topic. Our first slide is a definition for what is aseptic technique. The aseptic technique, it ranges from simple practice such as using alcohol to sterilize the skin. This is a general procedure for making the aseptics, to full surgical asepsis, which involves the use of sterile gowns, gloves, and mask. Healthcare professionals use the aseptic technique practices in hospitals, surgery rooms, outpatient care clinics, and other healthcare settings. So, apart from the pharmaceutical industry, this aseptic technique process is used in general practice by the doctors for using the surgical experiments. Next slide. If you see the differences between the sterilization and the aseptic technique, what is the common difference we can observe here? The sterilization refers to any process that removes or kills or deactivates all form of life, with that is in particular referring to microorganisms such as fungi, bacteria, spores, unicellular eukaryotic organisms such as plasmodium, etc. So when the sterilization, we are doing any sterilization process, when that part of equipment or part of substance is free from all these materials or substances or the organisms, bacteria, fungi, then we are calling it as a sterilization. After sterilization, the object is referred to as being sterile or aseptic, then we are calling it as a sterile or aseptic substance. Now, what is the aseptic technique? It refers to a procedure that is performed under sterile condition. This aseptic technique is performed under sterile condition. This includes medical and laboratory techniques which deals with cultures and human cells and the tissue for transplantation. This the difference between the sterilization as well as the aseptic technique we have understand now much better. If you see the next slide, there is a methods by which the sterilization can be done. Under it, the first one is the physical method for sterilization. In this physical method, we are going to perform various physical methods are available here. One by one we can discuss here what is the heat sterilization. It is under the physical method. Again, filtration. Second method, sound sonic method, pressure, that is pascalization, sunlight, that is solar disinfection method, irradiation method, moist heat sterilization, and dry heat sterilization. In pharmaceutical industries, most of the sterilization we are performing here is the moist heat sterilization, which is performed at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, and at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius above, the moist heat sterilization is performed. Whereas dry heat sterilization, it is a red heat. It is performed under the high temperature, that is high flames. They are performed incineration, infrared radiation, and hot air oven. In these all equipments we are performing the dry heat sterilization. Coming to irradiation, that is UV light. We are using here ultraviolet. Non-ionizing means the substance which will not produce ions. That type of UV lights are used as a irradiation, ionizing radiation. Then again, filtration is also one of the method where we can go for sterilization of the various substances. That is filtration of sterilization of liquids, filtration, sterilization of gases also be done by this physical method of sterilization. In overall view, we can say that the physical method of sterilization having several types. Under this, the most repeatedly, regularly we are using here, that is moist heat sterilization and the dry heat sterilization. Then move to the next slide now. Let us see some of the advantages of the aseptic techniques. So, what are the benefits we are observing after performing the aseptic techniques? The first advantage of the aseptic technique is handling surgery equipments. So, after performing the aseptic techniques, we can handle the surgery equipments because they are totally free from the bacteria and other viruses. So they can use in advantages such as we can handle the surgery related equipments. It also helping with a baby birth by vaginal delivery. So because in the previous slide we have observed that these aseptic techniques can be done under a specialized conditions, specialized chambers. Then thereby it is also included, that is the vaginal delivery also it is used. Another advantage is handling dialysis catheter. Catheters are used before using the catheter to a patient. Before catheters are or used for the dialysis patient, either hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis. That catheters has to be go for an aseptic technique should be followed for performing this dialysis catheters. Again, in performing dialysis, same thing. Inserting a chest tube. For inserting a chest tube also, we need go for aseptic techniques should be performed, as well as the inserting a urinary catheter and inserting central intravenous or arterial lines, inserting other draining devices in all. You can say simply, we can say here whatever the medical devices are there, what are the medical devices which are required for the surgery purpose or post surgery equipments we are using it there, that all equipment has to be sterilized or has to be totally, it should be free from the fungus and bacteria or the small minute organisms which is grown on the medical devices. To prevent that one, we have to go for performing the aseptic techniques. Once we perform the aseptic techniques, here are the advantages we are following. Coming to the aseptic processing, how they are performed. So raw material we can consider for raw material here, that is example we can consider the medical devices. In pharma, if you take the aseptic processing material such as the test tube, burette or pipettes, whatever it is, we are used for the formulation parameters, formulation procedure. The equipments required in the glassware, so that has to be gone through the aseptic processing. So as if you follow the arrow mark, we can see here one by one, step by steps, it is going to be performed the aseptic processing. One is the raw material, that is the equipment glassware. We have to go for continuous heating. It is kept in a tube hold and continuous cooling. After heating, it has to go for cooling. Once after cooling, then it has to pass to the whole tank. From the whole tank, the aseptic fillers. Then from the aseptic fillers, finally it is going for collected material. Finished product has to be submitted. If the raw material is not in the packaged form, if it is the raw material in the packaged form, then directly it is transferred to the aseptic filler. From the aseptic filler, again it is transferred to the finished product, where the aseptic processing is going to be completed. If it is in the raw material, it has to follow the upper sequence. If it is the packaged material, then it has to follow the lower sequence, where the aseptic processing can be done completely. If you see some of the examples, general aseptic packing or general placed in the following category. So what is the category? Let us see. Fill and seal. The containers are filled and sealed in a sterile environment to avoid contamination. So to prevent other foreign material exposure, it has to be first of all filled, then it has to be sealed. Totally it has to be sealed for performing the sterilization or aseptic processing. Erect, fill and seal. A plastic container is erected, then sterilized, filled and sealed. In this system, a roll of film is first sterilized. So before it is coated, before it is sealed, it has to be sterilized first. After sterilization, it is formed into a desired shape. We have to make mold into the required shape. Then it has to be filled and sealed. The raw material which we want to go for sterilization, that it has to be enclosed in a overleaf, enclosed in a sheet. That sheet has to be sterilized first. After performing the sterilization to that sheet, then we have to allow the material to fall inside the sheet. Thermoform, film and seal. So a roll of film is heated and thermoform on a sterile surface or environment. It is then filled and sealed also in a sterile environment. Next is the blow mold, fill and sealed. Blow mold, fill and seal. The process requires an extrudable material to be first blow molded into a sterile package before filling and sealing. So this process is usually used to produce bottle products like juices and sodas. So this method is the general method where they are following for aseptic processing techniques, that is blow mold, fill and seal method. Next, bulk packing and storage system. So in this method, let us see what happened. Packaging used for bulk storage such as drums, stores, bags, etc. are sterilized using either heat or disinfectant. After sterilization, they are able to fill and then finally they are sealed. So these are some of the methods where they are generally the material are going to be placed inside the material is placed inside the container. So before placing the material inside the container, the outermost layer, which is called as a, that is the film, it has to be sterilized. So there are several methods are there how they have to perform, but based on the requirement, according to the requirement, we are going for performing of the what we can say, that is sealing as well as filling of the raw material for the process of aseptic processing is done. Now how we have to select the aseptic container, what containers we have to do select here. So if you see the types of container, there are several types of containers are there listed out in the column, and some of the examples are given for which type of containers and what is the name of that container, and given some of the characteristics what has to be done, what characteristics should be obeyed to have a good container for the aseptic processing techniques. If you see the container type, that is the rigid container. So in the rigid container, we can say example, that is metal cans, totes, glass bottles and jars are coming under the category of rigid container. So the characteristics not mentioned. Now going for the second container type, that is paperboard container. Web fed and roll filled papers, foil, plastic cartons and performed cartons. So these are the examples for performing the aseptic processing under paperboard container. Similarly, semi-rigid plastic container. In the semi-rigid plastic container, the thermoformed cups are used. Web-fed thermoformed cups are used. Tubs and tray performed cups, tubs, trays and bottles are used for the performing aseptic processing by using semi-rigid plastic containers. If you see the characteristics, what is the container characteristics? If you want to tell that it is a semi-rigid plastic container, what characteristic it should have? Then we can say high production rates, operation, flexibility, container quality able to be checked in advance, flexible plastic container, that is examples, pouches, sachet, etc. These are the examples we can use here for flexible plastic containers. Now process heating system. So what is the process of heating system in general in practice? We can see here, this is the heat generation from where heat is going to be generated, combustion gas, oil, coal and byproduct fuels, heat transfer, convection, radiation, steam, hot fluid, then thermal conversion, induction, arc resistance. From this combinedly it forms a heat thermal processing of product material, then gases which are going to be exhausted, and with that exhausted gases the heat is recovered. That is, finally emission is going to be controlled. So this is the general example how the process of aseptic processing going to be performed. While performing the aseptic processing, what is the moment of heat transfer is going to be observed. Next is the indirect heating system. So in the indirect heating system, one method is there called as plate heat exchangers are available. By using this plate heat exchangers, we can perform the aseptic processing, which is coming under the category of indirect heating system. Now let us see where the plates in the system, the plates in the system serves as a heat transfer surface and barrier with circulating hot water. So what we are doing here, whatever the material we want to go for aseptic processing, that material is kept on the surface of the plate, and on the surface of the plate, so on one side and product on the other side. So it is a partition there. On one side the hot water is going to be circulated, and on the other side the material is going to be placed there. This system is similar to those used in a pressurized milk industries, are used most often for homogeneous liquids such as milk and other dairy products. These plate heat exchangers, where the side tubes are going to be passed from the tubes, in between the tubes a plate has been placed, From the plates, what happened, one side the material to be aseptically sterilized has to be placed, on the other side the hot water is going to be circulated. With the help of the heat transfer, this the material which is placed on the other end is going to be transferred, is going to be aseptically, it is going to be sterilized by using this method called as plate heat exchangers. Going to the next, we can see here in this image, in between, this is the diagram for the plate heat exchanger. In this plate heat exchanger, we can see some of the parts, that is the plates are going to be observed, top bar, fixed frame and plate, and plates at the bottom down arrow mark horizontally they have given the arrow mark, which is a pipe has been supplied. Through this pipe the sample is going to be placed. That sample will move from the one end to other end, which is from the movable frame. From the movable frame, you might have observed these two frames are fixed. In between the frames the plates has been arranged. These plates are unblanked, and that is starting plate is unblanked, and end plate here also the plates are they are not unblanked, they are open, kept open. Now then we can see the fixed frames, and here is the movable frame. To adjust the plates, the movable frames are arranged, whereas the top bar is a standard, it is a fixed one, it is not movable. Service fluid, it is going to be coming outside, with the fluid which is passed from the one end, which is from the movable end of the frame, it is coming out into the, that is the product outside. You can observe on the diagram, you can see here, that is the product out is going to be observed. Means what here, when the sample is run from this frame, with the help of these plates, the heat is going to be transferred. Why it is going to be transferred means, in the heat, in the plates the water is going to be circulated, hot water. With the help of the heat exchangers, the sample is going to be aseptically, they are sterilized. So by this one of the method, we are calling it as the plate heat exchanger, where we are using to perform the aseptic processing techniques of sterilization. Next, second method, that is tubular heat exchangers. So generally, if we generally employees generally it is used for concentric tubes as the barrier. Here the concentric tubes are used as a barrier or the heat exchange surface. So in the earlier previous plate, what we observed, plate heat exchanger, where the plates are framed, where the frames are arranged. From that frames the heat is supplied in the form of a hot water supplying. From the hot water heat is transferred. But here the concentric tubes are available, which act as a barrier or heat exchange surface. The product flows through the inner tube of two tube system and the middle tube in three tube system, with the heating medium flowing in the opposite direction through the other tubes. So with shell in tubes heat exchanger, so as shown in the diagram, which is 4 diagram, the tube may be coiled inside a large shell with product also flowing through the tube in a direction opposite to the flowing of heating medium. As with plate heat exchangers, generally homogeneous products such as milk are normally processed in these type of system. So overall, what we can say, if you want to understand much better about the tubular heat exchanger, we can go through once again by looking the diagram, what is happening actually here. Now let us see the image of the tubular heat exchanger. So we have come to know that this is one of the method of aseptic processing technique for the process of sterilization, where we are using the tubular heat exchanger for the process of sterilization. Now let us see the diagram, how it is, and what are the parts involved in the tubular heat exchanger, and what is the principle involved in this. So this is the tubular heat exchanger. So when you see this diagram, we can come across, we can easily understand that these tubular heat exchangers are where the several tubes are arranged, through which the sample is pumped inside. From the one end, you can see the image has been observed, that is the fluid, that is the cold fluid passes inside the tubes. From the cold fluid, after passing inside the tube, as the tubes are highly heated, how it is heating, with the help of the heating medium, which is so with the help of this external source, the heat is supplied to the tubes, where the tubes will absorb maximum sufficient amount of heat. After absorbing maximum amount of heat, the fluid which is, or we can say the sample which is passed there, that is the heating cold fluid is entering from one end and it is passing to the towards the other end. At this moment what happened, the fluid is going to be absorb the heat with the help of the tubular heat exchangers, then it passes down from the other end, then heating medium is going to be coming outside, whereas the heated fluid is coming outside. So you can see the arrow mark here. So the blue arrow mark indicating that the cold fluid is entering from the one end and the other end it is coming outside, but in between from the cold fluid to the hot to the other end, the heating medium is applied, the hot surface is applied. Because of the hot surface, what happened here, the because of the tubular exchanges, what happened, the fluid will absorb sufficient maximum amount of heat. By absorbing a maximum amount of heat, this is one of the technique where the aseptic transfer is going to be, aseptic techniques is one of the method where the sterilization of the fluid is going to be done by using various tubular heat exchangers. The name itself indicating that in between the tubes the heat is going to be exchanged. Coming to the next one, that is method for aseptic transfer, that is scrapped surface heat exchangers. So now what does it contain? It consists of a mutator shaft with scraper blades. It consists of a rotating shaft with a scraper blade, generally concentrically located with a jacket. It also contains an outermost jacket which is insulated with the heat exchangers. Inside the equipment there is no heat exchangers are available, whereas outside the jacketed equipment where it is enclosed, it is insulated with the heat exchanger tubes. Now where the product has to put, the product is pushed against the inner heat exchanger, or we call as a barrier wall, by the force of a pump. With the help of pump we have to inject the sample, which directly enters into the inside the container, which transport the product to the heaters, the blades which have a slight degree of independent movement, then scrap product buildup of the heat exchange surface. The heating medium is circulating water or the steam which flows on the opposite side of the inner heat exchange or the barrier wall. So if you want to understand much better, then the best option is that we have to see the image. This is the image for scrapped surface heat exchanger. If you see here in the scrapped surface heat exchanger, what we are observing the basic points. First of all, we have to understand the each and every part having its importance. So product outlet, we can come from this side, from right hand to left, that is product outlet, which is where the name itself indicating product has been expelled outside after completing the process of the aseptic transfer. Now the insulation coil, the outermost layer of that is called insulation. Jacket, we can observe here jacket, the internal surface, they are exposed the diagram, exposed the equipment to show that what are the parts are involved here. Then scrapped blades, you can see the blades are present. These scrapped blades are available inside the container. After scrapped blade, we can see that is the heat transfer medium outlet. Heat transfer medium which is outlet, that is product inlet is also available, where the sample or the product has to be supplied from the through the equipment. Then chemitator, cylinder assembly details we are explaining about this one. Now the heat transfer medium inlet, then heat transfer tubes are available, as well as the scraper shaft are available, where as we told in the description, it consists of a scraper blade and also a scraper shaft are available. One piece stainless steel cover. A overall body of the scrapped surface heat exchanger is covered with a stainless steel cover. So what is the important we are observed to here, what we have to notice here is that the insulation has been done. A jacket is going to be provided where it supplies the hot water, is providing the hot water surface. So by this method we are going to perform the heat exchange. Next, ohmic heating. So next method for the process of heating is the ohmic heating. Is a relatively new method of product heating where an electrical current is passed through the suitable conducting product, causing product heating. The system operates under continuous flow conditions with the product passing over electrode in one or more heating tubes, followed by product cooling in scraped surface. So here the scraped surface is the common word which you are observed in the previous equipment also. There also scraped surface are available. Here also the scraped surface is available, but the working procedure is little bit different when compared to the previous equipment. Tube in shell or plate heat exchangers, the conductivity and electric resistance of the product influence the heating rate. Because of this, product formulation becomes critical to the process. Food products which are not good conductors of electrical current are not good candidates for ohmic heating. Here is a condition: the substances which are not good conductors, that substance should be thermolabile. Next one, ohmic heating. This is the diagram image we can see here. That is, in this diagram, so there is an insulating tube, the food material, or in general we can see the required material to be go for aseptic sterilization. The insulating cap is there, electrode is there. With the help of heat responses, we are going to provide the sterilization process. That is, current is going to be flow from the external source, that is the figure, the schematic diagram of ohmic heating of the food. Generally we are discussing about the sterilization. We have taken the example for the food. And here is the last slide, end of the slide. Thank you note. If you like our videos, please like, share and subscribe for getting the updated videos. Thank you one and all.